Good evening and welcome to another episode of TNT Footy. I'm 1/3 of our hosting team, Taz. Beside me, I have got Todd/Moisty, and beside him, I've got Will/Eggy. How are you boys going?
Yeah, good mate, yourself?
I'm pretty good
Excellent.
myself. That's good to hear.
How is everyone? Yeah, it's final time, baby.
It is final
Fucking-
song.
How good? How good? Hey,
It's
before
only
we
good because Carlton's on the paying board, mate.
oh mate, I just love finals in general. It's just a bonus that we're actually able to watch an extra game this year.
Oh, I think you might get two in there, mate.
Yeah.
I think you might get another
Oh.
one in.
I hope so. But we'll see. We'll see. Hey, before we get going, I've got a joke for you.
Okay.
Why did the Collingwood support across the road?
Something about a flag, but
Or the dentist, or
Stenelink was on the other side.
that's better than your dad jokes, mate. Are you going to alienate half our audience?
I think next year I might do a footy joke every week to
All right,
start
all
us off.
I
You got a dad joke?
I do. Where do cows hang their paintings?
The museum.
Correct.
Ooh,
What did the fisherman say to the magician?
I fish.
What did the magician say? No, what did the fish say to the magician?
The fisherman say to the magician?
No idea.
Pick a cod, any cod. Cod?
Oh, my goodness.
I'm going to give this week to Tassie. I think his Collingwood joke was better than
Yes.
he's got one.
Oh, boom shakalaka.
Calzo, welcome.
Welcome,
sugar.
Calzo.
I had better get the chat up.
Oh, I can't because I can't read that far anyway, so there's no point having it up.
Yeah, you just can't read, bro.
Blind.
Give me a second.
Yeah,
So yeah, finals, boys.
Finals. So,
Friday,
Friday, last Friday night, Essendon v Collingwood. What are your thoughts?
Oh, we're jumping straight in.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
straight
may as
in.
well. Let's
Back
do
into
it.
the game. I thought it was a dead game. Collingwood beat a half-mast Essendon. I won't use that other word because it's not very nice. Essendon weren't very accurate, but I don't think they showed up.
No.
I think it was the Mackay killer.
I don't think Mackay's leaving. I've told you this.
I
don't
do.
think he's gone.
I do think he's gone, but I think Essendon's ruled out after that performance. Why would he want to go from north
but
to that?
I'm leaning the other way. If he's going, I think he's staying in Melbourne. So I've got him off on Essendon. I don't think Sydney or Port.
I've got him Hawks.
Yeah, but I think he's staying there.
Why do you say that?
But just a gut feeling. I don't think he wants to.
Gut feel. I still think he's
You
leaving.
watched him after that game. I think it's more the Dusty Martin trying to get as much cash as he can out of North,
Right.
and that's been my feel. I've thought he's been going all year, and now that my feel is no, it's a Dusty Martin. He just wants a bit of extra cash.
That'd be interesting. That will be interesting. G'day, Artie. How you doing, buddy?
Artie, how are we?
Mate, tell Jim Bob to check his messages. I've sent him a message.
Yeah, we've got to give him some money.
I think he's leaving personally, and I think Hawthorn have a much more attractive list than what Essendon do.
Yeah.
Well, it'll all ramp up now because I think it's the next 3 or 4 weeks before the draft. Late. Oh no, it's 3 or 4 weeks after the finals.
The finals, yeah, but you'll get
him
something every
being
week from
out
here.
of finals. And I heard something very interesting today from one of the sports list managers. He reckons it's going to be a very, very quiet trade year this year.
Yeah, Paul Connors.
Yeah, Paul Connors reckons list spots are all hard, and he reckons there's not going to be a lot of movement, which we were saying the other thing a couple of weeks away, but that makes me think, yeah, we might get a few more players just signing on.
I hope there's a lot of movement. And hello, Holden Babe. They all suck, really. That's just rude, Holden Babe. Who do you follow? Because you're an SA girl.
She must follow Adelaide.
And thank you, R2. Adelaide, oh my God. Yeah, that's why she's saying that they all suck, because she's still shattered about that.
Oh no, she's gone Port. She's gone Port, so she's still in the hunt. She's still in the hunt.
Oh, you're as bad as my brother. All right. What do you think of it, Eggy? We gave you our thoughts.
Yeah, no, I thought I actually thought that Essendon were going to come out firing, but they come out firing and kicked 3 behinds, I think, before Collingwood kicked their first goal. And
And being a Collingwood supporter, I'll just throw this question in there: are they back?
I wouldn't say that's convincing.
That's
No.
good because I've had a lot of pies saying, "What do you mean, Collie Wobbles?
Not
Not happening. We're back, baby. You've beat a half-mast Essendon side, and you've lost 3 of your last 4. I wouldn't get too excited."
I think next week when they play Melbourne is going to be our biggest test to see
Well,
whether we'll be back or not.
I've been
100%.
saying too, if they lose that game, I think they're out of your straight sets.
Yeah.
I don't think Carlton beats them the week after if Carlton beats Sydney to start with. Just got here, Holden Babe. I don't follow any of it really. And then Snakey. Welcome to the streams, Snakey. Sneaky. Sorry, Sneaky. Baggers are flaggers. Oh, I wouldn't go to that extent, mate.
I was saying that a little while ago, but I don't know about flaggers yet.
I think we'll give it a good crack, but
You're saying you're going out to Sydney round 1. What do you mean give it a good
doesn't
crack?
mean we're not going to give it a good crack. We'll go hard in the first game.
Well, they both got pretty good form coming into this game, Sydney and Carlton. So it's
Both lost their last game though, and going on the equation we were talking about the other day about the winning the last 4 games. Brisbane's the only flag fancy by going on that.
Yeah, that's also good.
Didn't Melbourne? Melbourne from their last 5, 4-1.
No, it's 3.
Yeah, 4-1 though.
From their last 5, 4-1. Yeah.
Yeah, but you've got to be 4-0 coming in, I think.
It'll be interesting. I think there's a few different scenarios that are going to play out this final series that we haven't seen before, which I think will be pretty good.
Yeah. And right now too, to all Australian awards night time, I think they choose Rising Star as well. Is that right?
Yes, Rising Star tonight, the Coach of the Year, and the 44, which I think is happening right now.
The 22, you mean?
Yeah, so they've already announced the 44.
Oh, 22. Yeah, 22.
Yeah. So is it 22 plus sub, or is it just 22?
No, 22. There's no subs in the All Australian.
Jim Bob 22 Parker. What's going on? Winner?
Oh,
Here he is.
Here he is.
Here he is. The winner of the tips. Congratulations, mate. Thank you for tuning in.
Get into that later. It's about half hour away, I reckon, Jim.
Yeah, so if you have to go sort out the kids or something, pop back in, about 20 minutes, I reckon.
And drain my bank account.
Our bank accounts. He didn't know that it was for money.
Oh, did he?
He had no idea. Artie didn't tell him.
Well, Sammy, guess what? You're runner-up.
Oh, goodness. And also, I just want to say good luck to Jim Bob again this weekend. They didn't play their first final too well, but they got a second chance this coming Saturday.
That's good.
Oh, so they had the double chance. We better get moving along. Hawthorn Fremantle.
Upset, I thought. I thought the Hawthorn were going to put them away, but...
Same.
Yeah, I thought
Same.
so.
Liam Henry's requested a trade too. Just throwing that out there.
Yes, North Melbourne on the way, mate.
North Melbourne?
No, he's coming Victorian club, but North Melbourne's one of them.
I think Hawthorn and Freo should do a swap. Tyler Brockman for him.
I haven't heard that. I know Brockman wants to go home.
Oh, no, that hasn't been spoken about. It's just something I think because they could probably, Hill's obviously shown better form than Brockman, so they could send Hill across. Hawthorn could send Brockman plus a second round, third round pick.
Yeah.
Not much to touch on that game. Didn't really
pretty ordinary.
mean anything. North Gold Coast. This was huge.
Game of the round here, boys. If
anyone
tuned into this,
you declared it too, didn't you?
Anyone? I declared, Gold Coast home. I didn't.
Yeah. Hang on. What were your words last week?
Put your house on it. Put your house on it. I thought
there was a lot of bankrupt people because of you, Moisty.
That's all right. I declined my own advice, so it's fine. No, across the half-back line, though, they looked amazing. I don't know if anyone else watched the game, but North it's good signs ahead by the look of that.
We'll keep a track of the score, Artie and I, at the footy on the weekend. And North looked like they weren't going to win. They were down. And then, was it third quarter, they just come out firing?
It was halfway through the second.
Was it halfway through the second, was it?
Half-time, it was all square, I believe.
So it's a bit like Gold Coast just doing their normal thing. They start pretty well and then fall off second half.
No, but North... So I don't think Gold Coast started well. It was the other way. North didn't start well. So
right.
Early on, like North, Gold Coast cooked the first 3, and then North sort of kicked the next 2, and then thought, oh, hang on, we can't win this game, so they stopped playing, and that's what it looked like live. It looked a bit like that live. I was talking to the boys about it. It looked a bit like that live that they stopped playing, and then in that second quarter they were down. What's that? 20, 28 points, 30 points, and then North just got a run on kick clock the next 6, and then just tore away with it.
And just on that, surely Larkey gets All Australian.
Well, he's in the 44, but Texas ended up beating him and Kerno's ended up beating him. But the argument with that is Texas in a top 8 side, arguably. These two are in a top 8, and Larky's in a side that he's not getting very good.
But even then, like, you can have Larky sit on the pine and Tex and Charlie on the field.
Yeah, they don't normally do that, though.
They don't, but I think
they have their pine for their backup midfielders.
Yeah, I know, but too many midfielders get selected.
Yeah, it does. But
let's keep moving. Brisbane St Kilda. I didn't mind this game.
That was a good game.
I didn't really watch it, I don't think.
2 goals, wasn't it? But just to interrupt, Nick Dacos just got Best Young Player for 2023 for the AFLCA.
Not surprised.
129 points. The next closest, actually can't remember who it was now. Was on 50, and I think Jason Horne-Francis was on 39.
I think he's had a bit of an overrated season this year.
Who?
Horne-Francis. He's dominated a few games, but he hasn't been consistent.
Early he was good, and then he sort of dropped off a bit, I reckon.
But you say this is going to be the same thing with Shees and
Ashcroft.
Not saying, no, not Ashcroft. Shees next year. Ashcroft, he's going to. Yeah, so say Shees and Ashcroft, they're going to expect to go to the next level this year. But where I was getting his number 1 pick this year. So
Shees will come out and win the Brownlow next year.
Forgot his name. Who's the number 1 pick this year? Harley Reid. So
Harley Reid
this year will get the same amount of pressure, and that's what it was. Shane Crawford saying it this year. Just let the kids play.
Yeah.
Like, he'd rather go number 2 than go number 1 just because of the pressure you get being number 1.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Horne-Francis wanted that, though.
Yeah, but he's doing things that second-year players wouldn't have dreamed of 20 years ago.
Yeah, well, you think about it. When he's getting 18 disposals and kicking 3 or 4 goals in one game, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's more than Cam Rayner's done.
Massive for a second-year
player. Question for you, because we're on the Brisbane game and talking about picks and everything. Why is Cam Rayner not copping as much flack as what these other number 1 draft picks have been? Is that because he's in Brisbane?
Because he was loyal too. So I do say, because you look at the ones that get all the flack and they're the ones that move or are disappointed or sulk up about being somewhere.
Okay. What about you guys in chat? Love to know your thoughts on that. Brisbane St Kilda, good game.
What's a good game?
It was only a good game because Brisbane made it a good game.
Kicked bad. Yeah.
Shots, yeah.
I think someone said in chat, one of the message groups, that they thought Brisbane were lucky. St Kilda should have won, but I actually thought if Brisbane had a kick straight, then
it should have been over a quarter time. I think 1 goal, 7 quarter time.
And I get the argument. Like, the argument was, once you kick a goal, it goes back to the middle. You don't know what's going to happen. I understand that. But Brisbane, I'm pretty sure, were dominating the clearances.
Yeah, all over them, I thought.
But, yeah, anyway, it's going to be a good final series. St Kilda are kind of underdogs, even though they finished 6th in the final series.
They've got to change their style.
They have. They have the past few weeks.
They didn't against Brisbane.
Didn't they?
Defensive shell against Brisbane.
That won't win them a flag.
They played Geelong the week before, the attacking style 40. And I was talking to my brother about this. I said they've got to play that style to go deep.
Zach Butters for Champion Player of the Year.
Oh, yeah, huge.
Zach Butters, a Champion Player of the Year.
Yep.
Sneaky. St Kilda playing in the finals is the biggest mystery in the AFL. It's kind of strange because they didn't, like, they come out and they won a few games, they lost a few, then they won you know what I mean? Like, they didn't really stamp their authority or anything, in my opinion.
But they're like Essendon, and like North Melbourne will be next year. They've got the easy run because they finished poorly the year before. Yeah.
I mean, look, Ross Lyon's done pretty well with the list he's got at hand. I don't rate their list very highly at all. Jack Steele had an off season. He's probably their only real A-grade player, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then you've got a few Bs and Cs. You know what I mean? Like, you do need a few stars on a list to be able to really dominate.
to go straight through.
That's just my opinion.
Where are you watching
Sneaky,
these
not sure
awards,
you.
Eddie? I'm trying to get these up on the background.
He's on mute, doesn't realise, talking to himself.
I just turned on mute too. Fox Footy, and KO. I think Zach Butter's got 109. I think next best was Bontempelli on 102. They just had
Maybe you can keep updating us as we go.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I'll just
Yeah.
keep an eye on it.
No, I'll get it
Beautiful.
up too because I like watching them. But I'll keep them on in the background.
Beautiful. All right, next game, Geelong and Bulldogs. Now, Dogs did make the finals, but what a
They didn't because
disappointing
of their
year.
own stupidity.
Yeah, that's what I
Like,
mean. Really
The
disappointing year for
effort
them.
the week before against West Coast cost them finals.
Oh yeah.
Do you think they're arrogant, even though they shouldn't be?
Well, they should be. They've got the best midfield in the comp.
But they haven't done anything with it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They just don't rock up.
Yeah.
Like that. Like I'd be arrogant if I was them too.
But you also think about their forward line. Like they've got Norton, who can take a screamer and kick bags. They've got Ugle-Hagan, who had a breakout year. They got Rory Lobb, who runs around like a headless chook most of the time. But you know what I mean? Like and Cody Waitman is a freak of a small forward. So
Cody Bates is very good.
the only real area of concern is their defense.
Yeah.
But then you've got Bailey Dale running off that. You've got their rebound defenders are good.
Yeah, Johansson, Dale, Daniel.
You've got Daniel. Yeah, it's just their key. But even Keith, they've got the package. I don't know why they're not performing. I don't.
I agree with you. They've got Liam Jones, who had a good year for an older guy coming back into the system.
I don't know if it's Beveridge or.
I think it is. It has to be.
I'd just put any year Essendon and Geelong don't make the finals is a great year.
That's every year for Essendon.
round 13 or 14, we're talking about Sydney's hangover, and it's Geelong that's missed out.
Yeah. And I kept saying all season, you can't write Geelong off. And, well, now
I
we
read
can.
them off after 3, and you didn't believe me.
It was up to 3 rounds. Oh, goodness. But, yeah, Dogs should, with the list they've got. But Bevo comes out and says, you guys aren't experts, basically, to the media and everything. But you look at the list they've got. How do they perform at such a low base?
I do not know.
So, yeah, just interesting. Next game, West Coast, Adelaide.
I actually thought at one stage Adelaide were going to lose this.
So did I.
West Coast were all over them. I thought Harley Reid was coming home again, but we'll get on to that a bit later.
West Coast, the last couple of weeks, have really stepped up because they've got some of their players back. And
do you reckon if Tex one of those behind he kicked?
Oh, Eggy's got the sneezes.
Sorry. Yeah, one of those points he kicked, he could have kicked the goal and gone level with Charlie Curnow, you reckon? Or do you reckon Curnow would have got that one more?
I think Curnow stopped. I'm pretty sure, and I'll get to this when we talk.
Yeah, we'll get to this. I think the whole team
stopped. Yeah, they got him put in bubble wrap. They didn't want to play. They nearly cost
Sneaky here. Just put. What do you guys think about English taking that final kick in the dying minutes? I've got two thoughts on this.
Don't mind it. He gets the ball in quick.
I've got two thoughts. He was the closest one there, and just to get it, but what he did with it was not right because he just sort of wandered out. He should have gone straight up the guts. You've got Norton, Ugle-Hagan, Lobb. Put him in the middle of the centre bounce, that centre square, bomb it long to them. Surely one of them is going to get it.
Yeah, no, I think exactly right. It's I don't mind him doing it, but he had to be smarter about it. Correct.
Do they practice it? That's the other question.
I wouldn't think he'd be the practiced kicker.
No, I mean like the dying minutes. Do they, as a team, do they practice the 2 minute, like how teams go through role plays?
Yeah,
and it's like 2 minutes left.
Would, but again, he's the one they're kicking to. He'd be one of the targets you'd want to be aiming at, not taking the kicking.
Absolutely agree with you. But when you've also got 3 other tools, doesn't really matter too much.
But he didn't use the 3 other tools.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I think what he did with it was wrong. I got no issues with him taking it when you've got the other targets. But if that had have been like I'll just use a Brisbane as an example. They've got Hipwood, Danaher, and the ruckman Oscar McInerney. If McInerney was to take the kick, they haven't got as many targets as what the Bulldogs do.
Yeah, gotcha.
Do you know what I mean? Geez, you guys are coughing and spluttering and
Yeah,
everything
mate,
tonight.
you've got us
Right,
through
yeah.
the season.
Yeah, it is. The whole house has got it at the moment.
What do you think about that, Sneaky? Those responses. Next game we got Port and Tigers.
Port and Tigers. I thought Tigers were all over them, but then Port just flexed a bit in the last quarter.
They did. Tigers looked okay with some of their newer players that are coming through. All later draft picks because they've been so successful for so long now.
Yeah, well, they've done this sort of. I like to describe this as the Australian cricket team. They sort of had the same 10 players for 15 years, and then when it came to draw no, there was no one ready to go.
Yep. Yeah, a bit like Hawthorn did during their successful years as well.
Yeah, and you don't want to change when you win in games, though. You don't want to risk. Why risk that?
Yeah, correct. Sneaker's just put, I agree, they needed to roll the dice, but he second-guessed himself and buggered it all up. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yes, I think Port showed what they can do in that last quarter. I think that was when they really stepped it up, but before that, they didn't look convincing.
No. But neither have the top 4 going into final, apart from maybe Brisbane have looked pretty convincing. But
I think Melbourne have 2. I think they did on the weekend. I think Sydney did. Then actually, let's move on to that. Sydney 56, Melbourne 77. I actually thought Sydney challenged them really, really well in the contested side of things. But Melbourne were just too good.
Quarter. Yeah, they just flexed in the last quarter.
Yeah, Petrarca, mate. That third quarter of Petrarca's was massive.
Yeah,
absolutely massive. It'll be interesting to see. He should poll pretty well in the Brownlow again this year.
It's going to be one hell of a Brownlow count this year.
Absolutely, it will be. Absolutely. Melbourne didn't really have much to play for either, so I don't.
Well, that's again right. They win, they come fourth. They lose, they come fourth.
That's right.
So
that's exactly right.
And to lose, the same as the Carlton, just rest a few.
I just want to say, Jakey Melksham, devastating.
Yeah, it's a bit unlucky, isn't it? But
yeah,
you get
32.
Year, though.
32 missed out on their flag when they played it the other year. Wasn't selected. Yeah. Played throughout the year, and this year he actually looked. Yeah, since he come back into the side, he has looked really, really good. Especially without Fritsch and Melbourne's forward line, that's their weakness.
Yeah,
he's looked fantastic up there.
Yeah, he's been the starter there, hasn't he?
So hopefully a quick recovery. Hopefully he gets another contract because I think he's out of contract as well.
I was listening to his agent, because same agent as all these boys, and he was saying the same. They reckon he's going to be good to go in July. So they're in talks with Melbourne. Obviously, they're going to let Melbourne do their finals campaign. Campaign, and then they'll get in talks, and hopefully, hey, do you want him just to back the second half of the season up and try and get him 1 or 2 years? Just saying, yeah, we'll just see if he can play the last 10 games or whatever.
Yep. If he can bring the form he has been, I don't see why not.
No.
At all. What do we got now? Baggers and Giants.
Giants now. How good? I had a lot of people complaining about this 6-10 game. But
just quickly, sorry. Artie, I did say Petrarca for Brownlow. That's what he said in chat.
I had a lot of people complaining about this 6-10 time slot, but then again, I had a lot of people tune in and watch it.
Yeah.
I think it was a big success. I reckon the AFL are going to run with this next year. So everyone whinged about it, but the crowd there was huge. Everyone tuned in. I was chatting to a heap of people. Everyone I talked to loved it. They didn't like the fact they had to go to work, but there was footy all day Sunday. I reckon that's a new fixture.
Yeah.
12, 3 and 6.
Can I say, if it wasn't Carlton playing, I wouldn't have watched it.
But see, I did watch it. It wasn't Carlton playing. My brothers watched it.
I watched it.
Other mates, Eggies watched it. I've got Collingwood people watched it. It's just Sunday. What else do you do on a Sunday night?
What do you guys think in chat?
You know what? Actually, what I'd like is if they did like a Sunday morning game. So they ran 10 or 11. Sometimes
real early.
Yeah, like sometimes I get up and I'm like, I want to watch sport. Well, actually, they got the UFC on, so I usually put the prelims on or something. But it would be good. Like I find myself watching reruns of old games tonight or the night before games that are on Fox Footy and that.
Yeah. Sunday mornings I tune into the Footy Show on Channel 9. I really like that show.
Yep.
Highly recommend. If you've got 9 now or anything. But I think I said a couple of weeks ago they should start a game at like 10:30, 11 o'clock. But then I think the AFL are worried that they're going to take viewers away from VFL.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's the thing. That early, and it hurts crowd attendance too, because even at 12 or 1 o'clock, if you've got young kids playing footy, then you can go to the footy afterwards.
Yeah,
They normally start at 7, done by 10, and that crowd can flow into the footy afterwards.
And it could be the whole liquor licensing too for the places like that.
That's another one too.
Yep.
That is very true. I just want to say thank you, Sneaky, for letting me know who you are. I'll tell the boys after the show.
I got a sneaky feeling he's in the footy chat and CINI or something.
Crime scene investigation. So I usually, have dinner, get my work clothes ready for the week. So yeah, that's just my opinion though. And look,
yes, but you're a bank manager, got to iron thing. My work clothes come out of the dryer and straight on me Monday morning.
I know there's some concreters in chat that get up at 5 a.m. and I think there's one on this show as well who gets up at 5 a.m. and I don't know how you do it.
Got to pay the bills somehow.
That'd be too hard.
That game anyway, Carlton shut up shop. I think they cotton wooled their players for finals.
Yeah, it felt like it, didn't it?
Yeah,
100%.
Like
100%.
like Kerry kicked those two, then they had a bit of a sniff like for the end of the first quarter, but then they sort of let the Giants sort of come back in the second, and then they just sort of ran over them in the third.
Once Kerno had the Coleman, that was it.
Yeah, and you could see that they were trying to give it to him early as well. There was a kick where Charlie ended up doing the tap over the head.
Yeah,
early in the game, that kick was actually going to Charlie, but it just landed short, so he's just tapped it over. But you could see at the start of the game, we started strong, we kicked a couple of early goals, and then we just stopped running. Like there was efforts that weren't made that we would have made previous weeks.
Yeah,
like running after players and those sort of things. So I think everyone's saying they're not really concerned. Similar to Melbourne, didn't matter if we won or lost, we weren't going anywhere.
No, it was sort of a nothing game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was. It was in the end. Not what the AFL wanted at that stage because it looked like we were going to be fighting Giants for that 8th position. But, it didn't really mean a lot.
But the final sort of up until, it did for the Giants. Giants had to win that to make finals. So they were there to play, but Carlton weren't.
Yeah, and they actually snuck up into 6th position on percentage at one point until the last 3 minutes when Carlton kicked a goal or two.
Yeah.
So they could have had a home file.
He said, that's why I said it nearly cost St Kilda a home final because it was, I think it's only like 0.3% the end or 0.5% or something.
Actually, well, let's have a look at the ladder. Eggy, this is your baby.
It is my baby.
All right, I'll watch these young kids run around while you get the ladder up.
That doesn't sound great, Todd.
But they're doing the Rising Star announcements.
So when we go down to, say, 8th and 9th, GWS are 107.8 and St Kilda 107.8. Sorry, GWS is 107.1, so it's 0.7.
So close.
Very close.
Do you want to go through the ladder while they announce this medal that I'm very keen on this year?
The Rising Star one? Is that the one?
They've
been talking about for the last 20 minutes, I reckon.
I know, I've been watching here as well, trying to concentrate.
I'm just going to watch your face, Todd, and just see what...
It's got to be Shees. Anyone else, and I'm quitting football.
Oh, not even Ashcroft? Or because he was out too long?
He's out too long already.
Collingwood minor premiers. Now, do you know if they get a bonus for coming minor premiers? I know in the NRL they get $100,000 or $200,000 put on their salary cap.
Funny you say this because I heard the other day that you only get paid now if the AFLW team wins as well.
Oh, so the bonus is only for both sides?
I believe so. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what I heard on a podcast the other day.
Woman's got a bonus for winning it. So you get prize money. I didn't know you got prize money in the AFL as well. If you win the flag, you get prize money.
Yes. It's like 5 mil.
50,000 per player or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 5 mil or something.
Yeah, so the AFLW is the same now.
Well, I think that men's and the women's share. I'm going to find that out. I'm going to have to find that out for
Google
the
that.
next couple of weeks.
We'll let Eggy go through the ladder.
So we got Collingwood on the first. We got Brisbane second, Port Adelaide third, Melbourne, Carlton, St Kilda, GWS, and Sydney. So next Thursday we got Collingwood v Melbourne in Melbourne.
But you didn't go through the most important part of the ladder.
Oh, what? The bottom.
North Melbourne's got away with not getting another spoon again. Only just. But
only just. They gave away their pick one.
Pick one, yes, but I still reckon they'll get pick one.
Yep.
But that was one of my predictions. North wouldn't make a spoon, so I'm waiting on the second one of my predictions. She's will win the prize and stuff.
Dimmer's going to Gold Coast, and then Jack Rewalt posted that photo. I thought he was going to Gold Coast too. Then I realised it was Mad Monday.
Oh yeah, Mad Monday, silly Sunday.
But yeah, like next week we got Collingwood taking on Melbourne, then Brisbane taking on Port Adelaide, Carlton taking on Sydney, and St Kilda taking on GWS. That's about as much as we're going to go into it because we're going to have a show next week and dive right into the final series.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we've got next week before, don't we?
Yep.
We'll get right into that. Do you want to go through the tips winners, Eggy?
We can go through the tips winners.
Have we got Jimbo present, Tassie?
Jim Bob 22 Parker.
He did. I think he's still around somewhere.
Were you getting him on to have a chat though, or were we just going to?
No. Just in chat. Just in chat, mate.
Yep.
We can just congratulate him. He's sure he's here. With lucky he got It did pretty well with his for and against. And I think
it's huge.
Yeah, 30 points in front, so he gets an outright win.
All right, they're about to announce this award, boys.
So you just stay quiet for a minute, Todd. Then, if that's the case, Jimbo, just want to get your thoughts in chat on what you're going to do with the extra $150.
So Owens has got third place.
Owens third, Ashcroft or Amiss second.
Oh, has to go to your man then.
Ashcroft, so there it is.
Yeah, Sheasel wins.
It's got to be Shees.
Sheasel wins. I cannot find the answer.
Harry
he smashed him.
So 54 votes. Will Ashcroft was second on 39. So he's done a fucking number on him.
Yeah. That's a good win. That is a good win.
Well, when you go through, he's had the most disposals of any first year player ever.
And when you look at like you look at North Melbourne, it's like what do they had 2 wins all year or something, and that shows pretty good. Just like Lucky
3 wins,
3 wins all year. That's like Lucky.
Don't rob us a win, mate. That was hard to win that weekend. 20 weeks since we've had our drinks, and we finally got another one.
So I asked Jim Bob before what he's going to do with the additional 150 that he's won, that he didn't actually know he was getting, that the winner got till the weekend.
He didn't know he was a winner.
And Artie's put, by his best mate, lots of bourbons on Saturday. Referring to himself, of course.
Nicky Dacos looking pretty fit there for you boys, Eggy.
Yeah, I know. But they still reckon they're not going to risk him next week. They give him an extra week. That's what his dad's saying anyway.
I can't find the answer to that question.
I'll get back in here. I'll get this off. I've seen what I wanted. Let's get back into this chat. We've seen the boy.
I need to find that answer now. It's playing on me.
We'll get that next week. We'll get that up for next week, and we'll get that in a thing next week. So Jim Bob, Sammy's tied Jim Bob for the lead though.
Yeah, but I think when you're tipping on the first game of the round and you choose your
it's the
your
points.
margin, yeah.
So she's got done on margin. So
I think Sammy's a bloke as well.
Is it? Sammy's got done. Yeah, so I never thought it was that important to do that. I never did the points, but that just shows next year if you're jumping in this comp, make sure you get those points and guess as accurately as you can, because that's what
we are going to run it again. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we'll run it again. Yeah,
absolutely. Free entry again.
Free entry, yeah, and I might start off one. I don't think we'll do what we did this year, but I might just do a sneaky one behind the scenes and just go with 100 rather than us all going with 100, and I'll just make that part of Moisty's minute, and I'll just pick one.
Yeah, geez, we loaded Sportsbet up with some cash this year, didn't we?
Yeah, I know. Should hit him up for an affiliate link, you reckon?
Affiliate link, yeah. But yeah, no, I might try something a bit different next year and see if we can get that kitty up a bit.
Yeah,
more.
And I think
150. I think
there's a new segment. Like I saw one we should do as Todd's early crow. That'd be a good segment, I reckon.
Early crow.
Yeah. Oh yes.
I've given up a few leads this year, as he would say to me.
We've actually got to do a show as well before the end of the the final series about our projections earlier in the season.
Yeah.
I was just going for. I've hit about 5 or 6 of mine. If we
That's
made
huge.
10, if we've made 10, I reckon I've hit about 5 or 6.
That's huge. Well, maybe we'll dedicate some time on the show next week or the week after for that.
Yeah, we'll just get into that. I've got to find my. Did you write them down somewhere, Tassie?
I hope so.
Got 'em.
I think I did.
I had
Moisty,
an envelope, but that's disappeared.
I'm glad your projections are pretty good because your tipping's terrible.
Oh, tipping's absolutely average. Like, did I come last? I think I stopped.
Just about.
So if you didn't tip last week or the week before, you ended up with 6. So I've gone 6, 6, 5 the last 3 weeks, and that's me not tipping.
That's unreal. Yeah, I
So
think there's
next year
29
I'll
in the
just-
league.
Oh, hang on. No, we've got 6, 6, 5, 5, and I haven't tipped for 4 weeks. So next year I probably just won't tip. We'll see how we go. Hey, you're not much better, Mister. I'm all high and mighty.
Hey.
You've got 21st there.
I just finished my age, all right?
21st, and you're giving me. I've finished mine 24.
Yeah, out of
But
29.
no, that was a good comp. I talked to a few people. They all enjoyed it. So we might try and get the kitty up a bit next year. And
Yeah, I reckon.
I might try and tip a bit better next year.
Absolutely. So next week's show, boys, we're going to take a deep dive into the final series, as you said before. So
Yes.
what sort of things we're going to be covering, Aggie?
I think we're going to predict who's going to be in, who's going to be out. We're still going to be. Oh, there might be a few in Wednesday night, and it starts on the Thursday night. So
Yeah,
we're
so
going to
we'll
have.
be able to go really in depth to the Thursday night game.
Yeah,
Have the team sheets for that.
which will probably be one of the biggest games of the round. Except
I dare
for,
say it'll be the biggest.
Yeah. Which is a
And
bit
then
odd they put on a Thursday night, but
No, well, that's how they run it. So the Thursday
yeah,
is to get everyone pumped for finals. They normally do it. They do it every year. The biggest game is normally the
Two
Thursday.
Melbourne
I
teams
think-
as well.
yeah.
I
So
think it's whoever finishes first and fourth. They're
think-
always on the
I think
Thursday.
they sold out in 7 hours too.
That's
Yeah,
huge.
it's a huge,
Yeah.
huge game.
I
And
was
most
thinking,
of this final series
tickets
will,
were
I think.
tickets were like $100. I was like, fuck.
The crowd will be like the background of our show here, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
That was
they're gonna
That was a
blow up.
packed MCG, except for on the right-hand side, actually, just over there.
And then I think Friday night we're going to do a few beers and footy down at your local. I think Tasman.
Yeah.
And Eggie's local.
Yeah.
And
We're going to
Eggie's
get down the Silks at Cranbourne. Anyone wants to join?
Absolutely. It'll be pretty good. If you didn't get tickets to the game, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to see if you wanted to go, Tassie, but then you said we'll go on there. I'm like, that'll save me some money.
That'll save me some money as well.
Yeah. Especially on drinks. So it's like $12 a drink around here.
Where it Silks. Oh, at the
The footy.
No,
footy,
the footy,
yeah.
it's gotten better. It's about $11.80, I think. So
Well, you saved 20 cents.
Save
Yeah.
20 cents a drink on that one. No, I think it's about $10. A round of 3 was 30 when we went, or 30.
Sneaky's just got here. He was trying to get tickets for the Carlton Swans game at 12 today, and it was already sold out up to level 4.
Oh, wow.
That's
It's a
sick.
G, isn't it? Yeah.
It is. I don't see level 4 as worth going personally. That's just my opinion because it's
Oh.
too far away.
It is for the atmosphere. For you and me, who people we can't see, like Brian, my mate's got 20/20 vision. He can sit in the rafter and see everything.
Oh my God.
I can barely see the fence when we sit in the 4th tier,
Yeah, no, I couldn't deal with that.
right in front of me. So
Could not deal. All right, those in chat that aren't aware, we have a Eggy segment. Normally we have a segment each, but we're doing a bit of a change up. Are you doing Moisty's Minute this week?
no, I'll just sleep until 10 minutes.
So, I got on at 10:20. I was going to buy tickets to the Collingwood and Melbourne game. What I get? M16 row L seat 1. M that's the bottom floor, is it? Or is Q the bottom? Like Q's the top. I think M's the
No,
ground.
M's the row. So
M's
you've
the
got
row,
level,
yeah.
No,
whatever the level-
like M16. You know, like
That's a gun.
no, section M16. That's, I'm pretty sure M's the bottom, and then Q's the top, and then M's the middle.
Oh,
Right.
so that's in the 4th row, and then you've got the top middle.
Yeah. So
So the top, you've got top, bottom, and top middle, and top as well.
yeah.
At the G, you've got in the 4th tier, it's top. Like
Well,
you've
I
got
think
3
it's
sections.
but I think it's only 3. Like it's M for the ground, then it's N for the first floor, and then Q for the top floor. But then it goes up to like P P L L Z Z. And...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they hold a lot of people down there at the G.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be big 2 nights at the G.
But yeah, I got on at 10 o'clock, and it took me 18 minutes to get in to get tickets, so it wasn't too bad.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Tickets are normally pretty good if they're not sold out.
yeah.
I do so. Like me, every time I've bought tickets, I can normally do it in about 5 minutes, and it's pretty good. I go for North Melbourne though, so it's a little
Unless it's
Yeah.
unless it's T Swift. It took the wife 2 hours to get into them.
Did she get tickets?
No, she did. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want me to resell them? Because we can probably make a fortune.
Yeah.
Probably get a car for them.
All right, let's move on to Eggy's
Sports review. Right, first let's kick off the FIFA. We had Tottenham Hotspur's Aussie coach and Postecoglou. Did I say that right?
You did.
It's taken the internet by storm this week after toppling Manchester United last weekend. Postecoglou Spurs cruise Spurs. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what Tottenham are. Tottenham Hotspurs.
Oh, that's
Spurs.
it. Yep. Cruise towards a 2-0 victory over Bournemouth on Saturday,
yep.
putting Tottenham at third spot on the Premier League ladder with 7 points from a possible 9.
I love that you're getting into the Premier League. It's only
We're
because
an AFL chat here, mate. Let's just get that.
only
top
because
out
of
here.
the coach, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I knew it.
Because he's Aussie, and then I saw Robbie Williams had a shout out for him.
Artie's just put an update there you might want to read.
Lost the form this morning. I was like, after writing this Monday, he just had his first loss last night, getting Tottenham knocked out of the Carabao Cup.
Carabao Cup, yep.
Yeah, I don't know much about the FIFA, but I was hoping you might be able to help me out on a bit of it.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Since you're on the EPL tipping comps.
Yeah, I think I'm sitting like fifth in that at the moment. Just quickly, Steaky's he was in queue for 29 minutes today for the Carlton Sydney ticket. So that's not too bad.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Not too bad. I don't know a huge amount about the EPL because I haven't watched it for many years, and I thought I'd go in a tipping comp just to try and get back into it a bit during the footy off season because we know what that's all like. Terrible.
Oh, you just got to take up fishing, mate.
Take it. I can't
just brought a
stand
boat. We're off.
fishing.
Yeah,
No,
go
it's
fishing.
not about the fishing.
I
It's
cannot
about the drinking the beer.
stand.
Yeah,
No.
drinking the beer, having a chat, and you just
Oh,
wait
so-
for the rods to go.
So I'll just run through this then, Eggy, if we're going to continue on with the Premier League. We've got Aston Villa beat Burnley 3-1. Man City beat Sheffield United 2-1. Liverpool over Newcastle 2-1. Crystal Palace and Brentford drew 1-1. Wolves beat Everton 1-0. Arsenal and Fulham drew at 2-2, which was terrible. Nottingham Forest and Man United 3-2, Man United's way. Brighton lost 1-3 to West Ham. West Ham have started this season very well. Chelsea beat Luton 3-0. Spurs 2-0 over Bournemouth. They played on Saturday, so they must have played again today. They played? Oh, I've gone too far back. Yep, there we go. I'm like, this just keeps going. But yeah, that's the Premier League. I am trying to get back into it. It's actually been okay. I haven't watched a lot of games, but you can get like the highlights and stuff on YouTube.
And I think
Congratulations for Sheasel Horizon Star there. Everyone's getting on board.
Now for the UFC, the Korean Zombie went down to Max
Just
Holloway.
before we start, just
All right.
hang on. Can I get the chorus? I should have been more prepared for this. That's his retirement. That's his walkout music.
I can't even hear it. Can you
I
hear
can't
it?
even hear. No, I didn't hear a word.
Put up to the mic.
Just
I
put
had
on.
it. I had it on the mic. I had it on the mic. That's all right. No, continue, Eggy.
Yeah, the Korean Zombie went down to Max Holloway early in the third round by a knockout. It was on the Singapore UFC Fight Night on Sunday our time. Retiring after this match with a 17-8 record. His previous fight was with Aussie's own Alexander Volkanovski on April 9th last year, where the Volk won early in the fourth.
And he will go into the UFC Hall of Fame.
Beautiful.
Zombie.
That's
He's
pretty good.
very, very well loved. If you get a clip to watch his retirement, have a look at the walk back. Had the whole crowd singing Cranberries Killers. That's his walkout movie.
Yeah.
So he's in tears walking, and he took just about as long as North Melbourne took to get off the ground the other day.
And then sorry?
Yeah, it's a good thing to watch if you get a chance to go back and watch it.
Yeah, we'll do. And this Sunday's got the UFC Fight Night again. This one's in France. It'll be televised on KO or Foxtel. And then the big one next weekend, next Saturday, we got UFC 293, which is in Sydney, Australia, which
Yeah,
would be good to
Sydney.
see.
We've got a few big Aussies slugging it out too.
Yeah, there is.
Waste of money.
What do you mean, waste of money?
You need to get into it, my friend.
I don't like
Absolute-
violence, mate.
No, but it's different. Like
I see the blood and I'll pass
zoned
out.
and sanctioned violence, and a lot of them had a lot. Like if you watch, we'll use the Korean Zombie because it's just happened. If you watch that, Max Holloway was in tears for knocking him out after the fight because he had that much respect for him.
Yeah, see, no, can't deal. Can't deal.
But
But I know a lot of people do. I know a lot of people like it.
And like I listen to the Joe Rogan podcast a lot, and a lot of the fighters on there, like the people in the community, say like the UFC fighters are probably the nicest people you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of community ties to. There's a few of them that their fight purse goes to their community. So they donate 90% of their profits to help their community, and they've got a lot of charities go. Everyone sees Conor McGregor and thinks that's how they all are.
No, I know they're not.
It's
I
not.
know they're not.
He's the high-rise celebrity goes, but he's probably, when he was first starting out, he was gold, but now he's probably the black sheep with UFC now.
Yeah, especially having the contender and losing half his fight, all his fighters except for one.
He had one. No, he won one, but that was the fighter he got from the other side.
Oh,
So his team got eliminated, so he was allowed to steal one fighter from the other side, and yeah. So yeah,
Jim Bob just said he's had to run, guys.
Too easy.
Too easy, mate. We'll get that cash sent to you.
Yes, probably tomorrow. Yeah, we'll send it through to Taz.
We'll probably
tomorrow.
do it tonight, and it'll it'll get sent through to you tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make sure you send Taz the info, unless Taz has already got it.
I haven't yet, but he'll give it to me. I'm sure for $150, he'll give me.
He'll work away.
Yeah. Then we are going to the F1. Daniel Ricciardo missed the Dutch Grand Prix over the weekend after breaking his hand in an ugly incident with fellow Aussie Oscar Piastri. He had surgery and it's looking worse than they first thought, so he might be out for a couple of weeks.
Ooh, nasty.
And Shane Van Gisbergen went back to the NASCAR earlier on this month.
What's SVG?
Shane Van Gisbergen.
Oh.
Van Gisbergen joined the track horse affiliated Nice Motorsports to race in the T Sport 200 in the NASCAR Truck Series. Was his first circle track. Despite being thrown into the thick of the competitive field at the back end of the season and never racing on the asphalt oval, the Kiwi looked like a regular. Van Gisbergen kept the 41 Chevrolet out of trouble and crossed the line at 19th, the lap down after 200 intense laps under lights. So
Huge.
Yeah, 200. So I think he is going over to America to race in the NASCAR. So this should be.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think I did hear something about that. That's amazing.
Turtles got put Go Cheezel, first Rising Star winner at the Ruse since 1998.
Hey, that's huge. Todd's on mute, doesn't realise he's talking shit.
Yeah, no. I just said since Winston Abraham was the last one, but she's deserved it. Absolute legend. This little young kid, he's going to be a star.
98. I used won the flag in 99.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Big Carlton.
September this weekend, and Group 1 racing is back with Nature Strip, Bella
This says we
Nipotina.
boys back.
Yeah,
Here he is.
In Secret, I wish I win. I think Alligator Blood's back again as well.
Yeah.
In secret, you wish you win.
A few nice horses running around, but
Yeah.
Nature Strip, he's back.
Well, I
I
think,
watched these few trials. He's back. He's ready to go.
and from what I hear, in Secret's going to Sydney too, so they're going to be up against each other. So it should be a good,
I like, yeah.
good
Are they
fight.
keeping it a secret?
No,
No, well, we
telling the
thought he
world.
was going to run to Melbourne. We
Yeah.
thought in secret, so it'll be a good race. But I'd
When
say
do you-
Nature Strip's 2 trials, and I thought he's up and raring. He's ready.
When
to go.
you guys were talking about in secret in the TNT chat, I'm like, what's in secret? What are you talking about? I have
Tell
absolutely
Tassie
no
watches a
idea.
lot of racing.
You should have seen me try and put the bet on the other week. Oh, good times.
So,
good
I was
times.
going to have a look at that race. I don't know if the odds are up yet. What race is in Caulfield? It'll be. No, it's in Sydney.
Yeah,
isn't
it's in
it?
Sydney. I think it's around race 6 or 7.
Just while Todd looks at that up,
Possibly
guys.
8.
If oh,
So Nature Strip's $3.10. Eduardo's in there too at $4.80. You got In Secret at $3.40. Bella Napala at $9.50. And who else did you have one on?
So I didn't think In Secret was going to go there, so I thought Kalos would be in there, but I'll take Kalos out.
Kalos is Kalos is in there at 21s.
Yeah, I'll take him out because In Secret's going there, so it'll come 5th.
Oh, it'll run fifth. Gotcha.
He'll just put here, he thought Pickett was the last.
Pickett. Who did I say?
Winston Abraham.
Yeah, I meant Pickett.
Also, guys, if you missed or want to rewatch or listen, check it out YouTube and Spotify. Also, we are on TikTok. We probably don't post as much as we were earlier, but that is another thing that we'll be doing. Our TikTok link will be put in chat. It's just at TNT Footy AFL. Probably going to have a new segment next year where we answer viewer questions that are sent in. It could be a voice question, or it can be a message to one of us.
Mailbag.
Yeah, similar to Sam's mailbag. So that might be something we'll bring in as a segment.
Well, I thought we had Moisty's envelope.
Moisty's mail?
No, he had his little envelope. He was writing all everything down on.
Oh, that was his Moisty's Minute.
Moisty's Minute, that's it.
But yeah, please follow us on TikTok. We are trying to get the word out there. If you know anyone that would enjoy the show, or just want to check it out because they might enjoy it, send them the link. Wednesday nights. We'd love to grow the show as much as we can, and get people's thoughts, opinions, and
we are talking about changing the night of the show, but we'll see how we go.
Yeah,
it'll probably be a bit earlier too. I think 8:30 is a bit late for me.
Yeah, I think that depends on children commitments.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yep. That's right. Next 2 weeks we'll be back to the 8 o'clock slot, and then I think
8:30.
And 8:30 slot, and then they'll be on school holidays, so we can go early again.
Yeah, beautiful.
I think 2 weeks is it, isn't it?
No,
4 weeks.
Yeah, 4 weeks to finals.
Yeah, so the 2 weeks leading up to finals.
Oh, that's right. We got nothing week next week.
Yeah,
that's right. AFLW starts this weekend. If you do want to check it out, actually, just quickly, right? I know there are some people that are not a fan of AFLW, but AFLW has now been in place for long enough where the juniors of the women's football don't have to actually stop playing because they can't play with the men. So they've actually been able to play right through from juniors up to the years they get drafted.
So now this is when we'll start seeing significant improvement.
Correct. Exactly right. So I'm actually pretty excited to see, because this is the first draft where that has happened. And over the coming years, we should start seeing the quality of the AFLW.
Next 5 or 6 years, we should be right on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a girl, I can't remember her last name. Ash is her first name, and she's got a sidestep like some of the AFL elite.
And this was another topic I talked with a few people about, but should there be separate grounds for women? I know that sounds bad, but in the NBA, like Shaq was saying, look at lowering the rim, not hugely, but lower it an inch so they can dunk. More people watch.
Well, there is an 8 foot league around somewhere, like an 8 foot high league or 9 foot high.
I think that they need to just play with the same amount of players as AFL.
Oh, because they don't use wingers, do they?
No.
Is that due to a lack of players?
No, it was so they could keep the game open, but it's not. I don't think it's working.
No, well, you see as well too, because they don't kick many goals. There's no 6-6-6 in women's. Yeah. It's a mole around the ground.
Yes. Yeah. I think that, I think it should be the same as the men's. I personally do.
Yeah.
Because then it's equal, which everyone wants.
Yeah.
But B, it's going to give them an extra 2 players each to sort of use to move the ball.
Move the ball down.
That's just my thoughts. But yeah, I'm actually excited to watch AFLW grow even further. Over the coming.
See how they go this week and talk about it on the show next week.
Yeah.
I've just got a quick one before you go to, boys. Now, Brad Scott, he has canned the end of year Essendon trip.
What?
Saying they do not deserve it. They are not allowed to go on an end of year trip.
Really?
Is that wise? Is
I
that
don't
going
think
to
so.
upset a few players? Like that trip's that's how you release to get ready to go another big season.
Yeah, correct. Just because they finished the year terribly, it doesn't mean that they weren't working hard.
So they're allowed to go on family holidays, but they're not allowed to go on there. So, I don't know, you didn't play much footy when you were 18 or that, but when you used to finish footy, you used to go on footy trips.
We did it for soccer and that.
Yeah,
so they're not allowed
pre-season and post-season.
Yeah, so they're not allowed on a footy trip, end of year footy trip together. It's
That's
been bad.
insane.
And apparently Stringer has been sat down by the boys and told to lay off the piss.
Yep.
So
I
that
think
one
they-
I understand.
They're
sort
just
of
trying to set some
fitness-wise.
standards, but I think the end of season trip's a bit much.
Well, that's where you blow off the steam.
Yeah, correct.
Dunny told me this today. I couldn't believe it. I
That's-
could not believe it.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting to see what happens from there.
Because that could everyone, oh yeah, no, that's right, it's a good idea now, but that's now you've got no break.
Yeah, that's right.
That's where you let your steam off and then you get ready to go next year.
Sneaky's just put in chat, I'd walk out of the club. And they probably will get a few that will walk
and
out of the club.
that's what I was getting at too, because that's your like break with the people you commit to all year. So they're going to be together next year. It's more a bonding thing than anything.
Yeah, 100%.
It's getting sounds old. Remember that AFL? I mean, not that Adelaide camp they had where they were playing the
Yes, yeah.
A couple of years ago when they had all that thing. It's very familiar because, like, I understand certain, but you've got to. It's work-life balance. You've got to have a bit of balance.
Are you laughing at Artie's comment?
I am.
I missed the comment. What's going on there?
You want to read it out, Eddie?
Artie's put getting back on the drugs early. I mean, sorry, I mean pre-season.
That's good. That is gold.
But yeah, I just remembered that because me and Danny were talking about it today. I thought I'd bring it up. I think it's personally a terrible idea.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you.
I think they will fall away early next season. Not early next season, but mid next season because they haven't had that break, relax.
They'll go through a rebuild.
Yeah. I don't know how it'll affect the club as a gelling sort of thing too. Because a lot of those connections and bonds are made in those sorts of trips as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's a good one to finish off, I think.
Yeah, we'll finish there.
Absolutely. You guys got anything else to add?
No,
I'm good.
Just tune into Fox Footy 504 and you'll be able to watch the rest of the awards night.
Beautiful. And I can't even use our phrase because there's no footy. Actually, there's AFLW.
Footy,
yeah, well, let's hope. Let's hope the opening round of the AFLW is an explosive round of footy.
Explosive round. Let's hope the scoring's a bit higher, right?
And thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thanks, guys.